Hey, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be talking about this straight razor here, and a really cool looking one. My wife got me this, so I really appreciate that. And it was a while ago. I just now got around to cleaning it up and thought I'd go ahead and do a video on it and talk about it a little bit. And so, if you'd like to hear more about this, go ahead and check out the video. Hey, welcome back to the Fortified Castle. Hi to all my viewers. Bonjour, privet, guten tag, hola, ciao, konnichiwa, and good day, mate, to my foreign viewers. And so we are checking out a pretty cool little straight razor. I am 65 years old, born in 1959, and I never used a straight razor, although there were people still using them at that time. When I grew up, the safety razor was a big deal. It was a razor that you put down into the top folded in, and you could use both sides. I don't really remember where all these, I don't even know what you would call them, disposable razors came from. I don't remember when those started coming about. Probably in the 90s, probably. But these razors are really cool pieces of history. Fairly easy to find one from the 1800s. This certainly could be one of those. You see the tang stamp there, H. Boker and Company, Germany. It has a tree trademark that is unusual. You don't see it listed anywhere. See right there. So that is not listed in any of the research material you can find. You know, the new Boker book, it's not in there. It's not in Goins. So the stamp would date between 1890 and 1944, although trade was cut off with Germany in 1938. So you know, this wouldn't be any older than 1938 right here. And so if you look, well, first, these things, if you never had one, I wonder if I got my ruler here. If you never had one before, they're pretty big, right? So they're gravity or friction folders. Basically, you could see there, it's 5 and a quarter inches. With the little finger tang here, it's almost 6 inches. And so you use this right here, people would tuck it in, and now you put your finger over it, and I think most people probably choked up on it. But you know, you had that finger tang there that you could use a knife this way and shave. A lot of these old razors had etching like this. This is deep etched, by the way, in imperfect condition. You see silver steel, extra hollow ground, warranted. Oftentimes, when you see warranty, not all the times, but oftentimes, it's an indication of a knife that was manufactured between 1890 and 1910. And a lot of them were. This tang stamp, as I mentioned before, goes from 1890 to 1944. Silver steel. So they put that on there like that's a really big deal. Silver steel is actually really old, and what it speaks to is chemical content. So silver steel has 1.1 to 1.2% carbon, high carbon. So think of 1095. 1095 is 0.95 carbon. This has higher carbon than that. That is typical of Sheffield steel and also German steel. And so they made these razors with higher carbon content because they made them harder. And so this silver steel can be HRC to 64. But back in the day, they have these very, very fine edges. I'll show you the edge on this. So these are really fine edges. By the way, this thing, I have not sharpened it, and it's razor sharp. This is probably the best way to do this right there. Let's see. There you go. So you can see the taper, the hollow grind, and then the edge right there. Very, very, very little steel behind the edge on these. And so because of how hard of this steel is, it would maintain its edge, and they needed it to be hard to provide this very thin edge to cut with. And as a result of that, oftentimes on these razor knives, you see a lot of them that have little chunks out of them. I have a razor that has a chunk out of the blade where the blade cracked. I think overall they were pretty durable, but if you drop them, they can't, it hits the floor, it can crack because of how hard it is. The scales are celluloid and really, really cool. So you can see the Bokers, you can see the tree, then you see brand. So it's Boker's tree brand. This was really dirty. I cleaned it up, and you can still see there's dirt inside there. It looked kind of orange, and it may still look orange to you, but it's really yellow. And as I cleaned it up, that orange, I guess it had faded some and turned color, but look at that, the flourishes on there. Isn't that pretty cool? Isn't that cool? It's not a huge, collecting. Razors have a really solid, fanatical following, but it's not huge. And I think some guys just like to pick these up. I've seen other content providers, show when they pick up a razor. They're cool. They have really cool tank stamps. As I mentioned before, they have really cool different engravings on them. This blade, by the way, is less than 3 inches right here. And then sometimes they even had this really cool scales to them. These are friction folders. So you can see that just drops down. You'd think that's a gravity folder, but it doesn't go any further. And so it's just, I think, probably loosened up. This was a friction operated razor. Some of them were gravity, some of them were friction. And really, you can see it's really thin in there. It's just a sandwich, It's a little sandwich. There's no liners. And then you had a little piece of whatever material you use. So like if this was horn, there would be a little piece of horn here. If it was bone, it'd be a little piece of bone. In this case, it would be celluloid. And then they just pin it. Oftentimes you'll see these deformed. And so, you can see it just moves. And so somebody that was always gripping it, or maybe, if this sat in a case and something was on it, blade was out and something was on it, I've got one that's deformed like that. You can fix that. You just put some wedges in there, heat it up, and it'll slowly come out of there. If it's bone, you just put a little bit of moisture on it, put some wedges in here to get it the shape that you want it, and you can straighten them up. But pretty cool. I like it. My wife bought this, and this is cool too. So I haven't been able to locate these guys. It says TH Barber Supply Company, and then over here it says GCL, and just remarkable. You know, this thing is at least 80, 90 years old. You got like some felt down in there. See that? Little box. Really cool. Amazing that this thing is in such great shape. Being 80 years old. Little broken part right there, but overall, it's in really good shape. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video. And I know razors aren't a lot of guys' forte, but they're kind of cool. I don't have a lot of them. I don't know how many I have. I think I have about 6 of them, I think. And you know, I like to pick them up every now and then. They're pretty cool. This one is cool. I just picked one up, I don't know, a week ago, I think, maybe 2 weeks ago, when I was out thrashing around in antique shops. Found a really cool one. And I've had this for a while. My wife got it for me. So thanks again, guys. I really appreciate you supporting the channel. And I'll see you in the next video.